The views and opinions of this broadcast do not reflect the views and opinions of Armed Media, New Productions, and its affiliates. Enjoy the show.
Tax the rich, feed the poor, till there are no rich no
Welcome to Pod Talk, everybody. I'm Paul. I'm here with Jimmy Bell, Jeremy Coots, and Jeremy Gibbs, and the return of Dave Coots. I fucked it up.
That's right, baby. I'm back.
Yes, Mr. Coots is back in all his splendid glory. How you feeling tonight, Mr. Coots?
Oh, pretty good, man. Pretty good. Glad to be back.
Good. We're glad to have you. We really are.
So I guess that's not disrespect. So.
Yeah. What are we going to open with, Mr. Bell?
But we can talk about Strzok. He testified today in front of Congress.
Yeah. I only got to see a little piece of it.
He wouldn't answer anything either.
Oh, well, he did when the Democrats asked him stuff.
Yeah, he was all
of course
talkative.
Yeah, because they were giving him easy questions. That's the thing.
Yeah, of course.
Well, they were siding with them. They're all saying his family's being ripped apart at the border, and we're here wasting our time with you.
Yeah. I mean, because
all
friggin'
about the children.
Yeah, well, it's federal officers plotting against an incoming president. No reason to have any hearings.
Exactly.
None I see.
No, but here's the thing. If we would have said half the things that him and the other agent said that they called on text message, we would be behind bars right now.
Oh, shit, yeah. Wouldn't that be considered like a coup?
Absolutely. Especially the FBI would be leading the charge.
Exactly, because they would have interpreted half the stuff that he said as threats toward the president.
Absolutely. The way it was written, we're going to stop it.
That's treason.
We need an insurance plan?
Insurance plan. Like I said, he said he doesn't even remember writing half the text.
Well, it was late at night, Jim.
Well,
it was late at night.
But
he thinks he's got the freedom of speech to write what he wants, even though the FBI owns the phones.
It doesn't matter if he remembers or not, because we've got it in black and white. So it doesn't matter what he can recall. We've got black and white right in front of us. This is what you said because we found the text messages.
Right.
Yeah. Oh, I don't remember that. Well, you did it. It's right here. It's right friggin' here.
Especially when she goes, Trump's not going to win, right? Right?
Yeah, what was he, sleep texting on Ambien?
I know it. Well, I didn't mean we were going to stop it.
Yeah.
They asked who we was, he wouldn't clarify that.
He was drunk texting.
Yeah. Well, or on Ambien, because that's what all politicians say.
Ambien.
It's always Ambien because you can get it from your doctor.
Well, did somebody say one time that if we could see some of the medications that our lawmakers were on and how they were being prescribed, it would scare us all to death?
Yeah, do you know what that was? That was the pharmacist, right? In D.C., where all the politicians go. My brother Mike was telling me about that like a year ago. They were talking to this guy who runs a pharmacy in D.C., right? And that's where they all get their prescriptions. He's like, if you could see what your leaders, which they're not our leaders, they're our representatives, are taking, it would scare you to death.
Well, I personally want to know what they're pumping Ruth Bader Ginsburg full of, because that's what I want, because that's eternal life right there.
Yeah.
That's what they're pumping her full of.
Yeah, it ain't methamphetamine, that's for sure.
No, because she's going to sleep half the time.
Yeah. I'm thinking fucking... Yeah, I'm thinking fentanyl.
She wakes up to take a shit in her pants and then fucking goes back to sleep.
You could just see one of the other judges just kind of sniffing and looking over at her, just shaking her head. about that time, one of the attorneys said, "I'm Jack."
Yep, Ruth made in her pants again. Yeah. So whose turn is it to change?
I'm going to sit next to her next time, that's for sure.
Wouldn't it be funny, though, if these attorneys are going through their arguments and they look over and see her asleep and stop right in the middle of it and say, "Your Honors, could somebody please wake up Ruth Gator
Yes,
Ginsburg
exactly.
because
Yeah.
she's asleep?"
She is a fucking
Again.
gem. I mean, you can see she's feeble-minded.
Why
What
is
is
she
she
there?
still
Same
there?
thing with McCain. Why is he still a senator? There should be a limit.
Well,
you know
well,
what
what
I mean?
should-
The guy
McCain-
can't show up. He's terminally fucking ill, and he's still. I'm not giving up my seat.
Dude, what good though? He's first of all, great. He's terminally ill, and yes, I am glad, and I will go on the record saying this. I am glad that John McCain is dying from brain cancer.
Well, I'll go on the record and say it too, because he's a worthless piece of shit.
Yep.
He's a fucking turncoat.
Fucking
Goddamn
A right.
spy,
And
probably.
the thing is, though, if he would step down now, then you've got a Republican governor in that state who could appoint somebody to fill his position, and it would help getting stuff moving in the Senate. But he's not going to do it.
No,
Well, yeah, that's exactly why he's not going to do it, too.
he's an angry old
That's exactly
man.
why McCain won't step down.
Yeah,
Personally, I mean, wasn't he pardoned anyway? And if he hadn't been pardoned, he wouldn't even have been able to run for Congress or for the
No.
Senate.
Yeah. They don't call him Singing John McCain for nothing.
yep. Songbird Johnny.
Exactly.
Or Johnny Wetstock's my
Yeah,
favorite.
Johnny Wetstock.
But he's a hero. You know.
No, he's not.
He
I
ain't.
personally-
Not
I
my
personally-
fucking eyes, and all anybody that served with them, they feel the same way. He ain't no fucking hero.
Well, that's like. Do you remember during the campaign when Trump made the comments about him not being a hero because he
Yeah.
got caught? He got caught,
Yeah.
and people got all up in arms about it, except for the people that served with him.
Yeah.
Right.
yeah,
Dude,
except for the people.
We
that
did
serve
an
with him.
episode. We
Because
did a
they
whole
know.
hour on John McCain, and even Joe called to say we did a good show, which he never does. Not in person. I'm not asking for praise, but anyways,
Damn it,
Jimmy
Joe.
found an interview with one of the guys that was on the deck of the Forrestal when he pulled the wet start and fucking sent the Sunni missile off that killed 134 sailors, and he had nothing but just absolutely,
Absolutely no charges against him. If that was us, would have been in the brig, because his father was the admiral of the fucking Navy.
Yeah, the fleet. Yep.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and
he
he
cost
had
some
to
money.
he had to be flown off the fucking Forrestal to the Orskany.
They wanted to kill him.
They wanted to kill him. There's video of him running from his plane, running right to the camera. There's video of it. I know you can find it on YouTube.
But you got people calling him a hero.
Yeah, well, they can call him whatever they want.
He ain't. He's nothing but a
shit.
sellout. When in Vietnam, they called him the Songbird because as soon as they fucking picked him up, he just started mouthing off for the whole time,
They call
giving
him.
him everything.
They call him a Republican.
Yeah,
He ain't a
I-
Republican.
He's not. I wouldn't even call him a Reno. He's worse than that.
Yeah, he is a fucking Democrat. He's a Democrat, just like Mitt Romney's a Democrat. Like Charlie fucking Baker's a Democrat. He's the governor of Massachusetts. You can look him up.
He's
Did what he is? He's Kasich.
yeah, basically.
He's a Kasich.
Yeah,
And I mean,
Only he wants to give the illegals driver's licenses.
So does
free
Casey.
schooling.
yeah.
Everybody's on the dole.
The sad part about our state is the guy that won, the Republican that won our primary. He's the same way as Attorney General. He gave illegals the right to drive in our state.
I don't.
And that
Give
just
anybody the
stupid.
right to fucking do anything.
How the fuck do they even justify that?
Well, wasn't it recently that the Supreme Court pulled out a ruling that said illegals have no right to due process?
Right.
No,
They
because
don't.
they're
But
not
they say
legal
once they
citizens,
cross
shouldn't
over
have
the
that
border,
fucking
they
right.
do. I don't know how that. What do they get? Instant citizenship?
I always thought that was just reserved for like Cubans.
That's why Trump wants a wall. He's going to put troops on the outside before they even can cross the border. If they got no rights, then you just turn them around. Right now, they can't do that because it's so porous.
And and that's just like I'm talking
not
about
a border.
separate.
It's a fucking line in the sand, and that's it.
Yeah, and anybody crosses it.
Yeah, and then all of a sudden they're afforded fucking a hearing,
Yeah, I know. Due
due
process.
process. No, you get pushed back across.
Exactly.
Goodbye.
Well, that's what I mean. You send the troops along the way, even if they're National Guard, send them along the border so that they get nowhere near the wall.
Yeah.
Well, then.
Well, what you do is you put the wall right
About
like
100 yards back.
like a mile in,
Right.
and then you just patrol the whole front of it. That way,
Exactly.
Mexico can't say shit.
Well, that's just like the National Guard that are on the border now. A lot of people don't know this, but they're not armed.
What?
What?
They're not armed.
The National Guard.
The National Guard that is patrolling the borders right now are not armed.
What good are they? What are they?
They-
Traffic cops?
No,
Stop!
basically they're looking at TV cameras because that's how they're
They-
doing a lot of surveillance now.
Basically, that's what they're doing. They're doing surveillance. They're doing deterrent. They're doing they're doing counter surveillance. They're doing funneling. You know, where if we have a greater chance of catching them here, so if you make a presence here, we're going to funnel the illegals to this area. That's what they're doing, but they are doing it unarmed.
Unbelievable. Just unbelievable.
Well, that's probably.
And why should we be spending all this money to stop
militia
these
down there on
fuckers
the
from
border,
coming
too.
in? Shoot a few.
Right, that'll stop the line.
Shoot a few.
And that's the thing. I mean, if you look at what they do when they come over here. If you look
they
at the,
turn it into Mexico.
if you look at the chaos that they bring,
Yeah.
Right.
The disease they bring. Oh, when I was a kid,
Diseases, bugs.
I was going to say, when I was a kid, you never heard of mumps or measles or fucking bed bugs or any of this shit. It just didn't happen. And that's 40 fucking years ago.
Every urban center is loaded with fucking diseases and bugs.
In San Francisco, because the fucking bums are allowed to shit and piss wherever they want,
Yeah, I guess.
they're having outbreaks of cholera.
Yeah,
When is the last time you fucking heard of cholera?
Korea?
Yeah, or like a movie about the old West or something like that.
and I mean, here's the thing, though. I mean, as soon as they cross the border, they're giving them health care, they're giving them housing, and in the meantime, we've got homeless children, homeless veterans in our streets,
And they're treated like shit.
and they're treated like shit. Trust me, I know for a fact. If you try to use the VA, you talking about trying to cut through some red tape. It's so bad. And then when you do, the health care is so bad. There was people that come up here not far from us to one of the VA clinics that was getting their teeth cleaned, and they got hepatitis. They gave them hepatitis from teeth cleaning.
From a fucking teeth cleaning.
Yes.
That sounds like Cuba. Or fucking some fucking third world hellhole, Sri Lanka. That happens in like Sri Lanka or something like that. Not here in the United States.
Right.
I can solve that problem in fucking one sentence. Give fucking veterans a health card that they can go to any hospital with.
And Trump has actually started that process to where when you go to the VA, if there's a waiting list or you can't get seen right away, they can give you a paper that you can go to any healthcare facility in your area and get treated. He's actually
You know why the VA doesn't have many doctors? Because they got too many chiefs.
Yeah, the budget's all up in the upper echelon.
It's all administration and no
Yeah,
doctors.
well, all the good health care is reserved for the people who fucking created the mess.
Exactly.
Well, that is government health care.
That's government health care.
When people
That's
ask
why
me what would
nobody
government health
wants
care look
Obamacare.
like, I always say the VA. It'll look like the VA. And you always got one veteran that'll go, I went to the VA and had great service. Well, good for you. You know what I mean? And I'm glad you did,
It was
sir.
nothing extreme or urgent that you had, obviously.
Well, I tell you, I read an article about a Korean. He was a Korean vet. Took his wife to the airport. This was out west. Took his wife to the airport. dropped her off. On the way back to the car, he fell and hurt his leg. He didn't realize the extent that it was hurt. Drove himself to the local VA. He was a vet. He normally went to the VA. It was an ER VA. He couldn't get out of the car because his leg at this point had swollen and was hurting him really bad. His leg was broke. So he called inside. They would not come out and get him. They told him to call 911, that it was policy that if he's in the parking lot, that's 911, not their problem.
Wow. Don't send out an orderly with the wheelchair. An orderly with the wheelchair.
So the old man called 911, and apparently when the fire department got there, when they went inside, there was a big argument ensued because they were thoroughly pissed. This old man, this Korean War vet, was sitting out in his car with a broken leg because they wouldn't come out and get him, so he had to wait for the fire department to come out and bring him inside.
And the fire department was pissed, you mean?
That's fucking pathetic.
Oh, good for them.
Pathetic.
Because a lot of firefighters are vets.
Exactly.
You know, I would have been. What's wrong with you? I yelled at I was working doing a satellite system in an old folks home. I don't know what they fucking call them today. And this old lady sitting in a chair, and she kept saying, "I gotta go to the bathroom," right? And there's a woman sitting behind the desk, right? You know, she's like a receptionist or whatever, answering calls, and she's like, "In a minute, honey." And the lady keeps going, and she's like, "In a minute, honey." Finally, I go, "Are you going to call somebody to take care of her? What's she going to do, piss in her chair?" Well, I said, "Pete." You know, she's like, "Well, I got that." And my brother Mike goes, "Boy, he was cool about it." Because my brother Mike, he can be a dick, but he respects the elderly. You know what I mean? And he's like, "You really can't be doing that, Paul." I go, "Mike, I don't care. If I ever see something like that again, or somebody I'm going to say something. You can fire me. I don't care. I'll get another job, but I'm not going to sit there and listen to some poor old lady, you know, come over and over and over. I got to go to the bathroom and being ignored. What are they going to let her do? Piss herself and she feels like a piece of shit?
Well, they definitely. We all know that the quality of care in those places is just horrible.
Horrendous. The VA, anything run by the government, it's shit.
Right.
The private sector can do anything better. And everyone loves to go, "Well, what about NASA?" Well, what about NASA? What are you hearing about NASA now?
Tesla's
hearing about Tesla.
Tesla's doing better than NASA.
SpaceX.
Russia's doing better. They get up to their space
NASA
station
is now trying to work with Elon Musk. So
yeah, because they want in on it.
Well, yeah, because when you can launch rockets and land them back on the pad.
Yeah, I know, that's amazing.
And cheaper, than NASA can do with the throwaway rocket.
Well, the average NASA launch costs $450 million.
And that's ridiculous.
Just the launch
of the SpaceX Falcon. The launch of the SpaceX Falcon Heavy, $90 million.
Nice. That's a heavy rocket.
That's $360 million less than what NASA.
But that just goes to show you
costs.
That goes to show you what big government versus the private sector and competition does. That's the key word, competition.
Competition is good.
Competition leads to innovation.
Yep. Yeah. Because you got to be better than the other guy, or you get left behind.
I believe they said 5 times the payload that NASA can carry.
Exactly, and he's landing the booster rockets back on the pad.
Back on the landing pad. All they got to do is check them out, fuel them up, and send them back. The turnover rate is like 10 times faster.
It's just amazing, and it goes back to competition, innovation. Anytime government has their hands in anything, it becomes a bureaucratic nightmare.
Yeah, because all the money is spent, like Jimmy was talking about the VA. All the money gets spent upstairs. And nobody cares what they're paying for a bolt or a lever or a chair because it's not their money.
Exactly. It's horrendous because what ends up happening though is the people that they're supposed to be serving are the ones that get screwed the most.
And you know what? Not for nothing. When private companies are working with NASA, because NASA doesn't build anything really, it's private companies that build it, and NASA puts it together and launches it. But they smell the money trough. So even the private organizations are like, you know what, I can fuck the government, so I'm going to jack up the price. But when they're building it for themselves, when it's a product they got to sell, like Lockheed Martin, just say, what they pay for a bolt, right, for a fucking plane, we'll just say, that they're selling themselves, right? And that same bolt that they were going to use, say, on the shuttle, will be two totally different prices. Because it's for the government. They're going to inflate the price.
Speaking of the government getting fucked, yesterday, I believe it was, they lost a lawsuit against Defense Distributed. I don't know if you guys know who that is, but the company CEO is like 26 years old. He invented 3D printable gun parts. And that will specifically print out these items, and even invented a CNC machine called the Ghost Gunner that will mill these things out after you've printed them. Nice. They lost a lawsuit against this guy, and he is now allowed to distribute the blueprints for the 3D printable firearms and sell the equipment to make them.
Yeah, because
free enterprise wins.
What they were saying is because when he put those blueprints online, there were certain people or individuals overseas that got them, so that violated some kind of international trade thing, and they were going to prosecute him on that.
They tried.
Yeah, they tried, but when he fought back, I mean, the Justice Department eventually caved in. They like Jeremy said, they caved in yesterday.
Good, very good.
Yeah, they had they didn't have a choice.
First of all, once something exists, somebody's going to figure out how you figured it out. If you figured it out, somebody else will figure it out once it exists. So why not make the money selling the fucking plans?
You won't stop
instead of somebody else figuring it out.
For what?
This guy invented.
Which is one of the reasons why the guy. It's also one of the reasons why that guy, he come out and said yesterday, I believe on the news, that after winning that suit, gun control was dead. That was his exact words. It was a big win for the Second Amendment, and gun control was officially dead.
Yeah, because you know 3D printing, Jimmy, right? Oh, they do 3D printing, make shit. Well, a guy was making gun parts, do 3D printing, had the rights to it and stuff, and wanted to put that out there for sale and stuff, and they tried to stop him, and he won. And you're right. It is the end of gun control, because if you can buy a printer and do it at home, how the hell are they ever going to stop you?
Well, I mean, and if you look, people can take literally 1.5 inch, 2 inch pipe and make instruments that shoot shotgun shells. Basically, you have like a pipe that you can shoot a shotgun shell out of.
Yeah, I mean,
you can't
technology exists. The fucking the Pandora's box is open. The guns are here. The only thing you can do is hope that you can take as many guns away from bad people that shouldn't have them, and have more people that should have them, so they can stop the few people that still have them that shouldn't.
The red flag law there. Now anybody can say, well, I don't trust my neighbor, he's got guns, and they're going to get the right to come over.
No, I think there's more to it than that. Because I know it's Massachusetts, but there's got to be more to it than that. I haven't researched the parameters on it, though.
There's not in Ohio if they could get it to pass. If in Ohio, it's a family member or friend. If you can prove you're a family member or a friend, and you can tell them that I think that they're a threat, and they will literally come in without due process, take your weapons away from you, and then you have to prove that you're not a threat.
Right, now you have to fight to get it back.
Yeah. Like I said, that's
guilty until proven
against
innocent.
search and seizure.
Well, that was like the no-fly list.
Exactly. And they wanted to use the no-fly list as a premise for making people ineligible to purchase firearms.
Yeah, that was the template for it.
Right.
Well, and it's like Trey Gowdy said. These people are being put on a list without due process.
Yeah, what other right do you take away from
Well, they
them?
also wanted to use things like PTSD and say anybody with PTSD can't own a firearm, and then I believe it was Dianne Feinstein turned around within a few days and come out and said all veterans should be classified as having PTSD, which means, oh well, guess
Right,
what?
so now none of them can have
no
it.
retired or former military can own a gun.
Yeah,
And
of course, that's what they always do.
And ultimately, that's why they want to do that, because in reality, that is the government's biggest threat, is the people that they trained, that know how they operate. If they're armed, that's their biggest threat, is the combat veteran.
Because they know the playbook.
They know the playbook. They've been there, done that, so
Yep.
in reality, that's their biggest threat. So that's what you eliminate first.
Absolutely.
And a lot of people don't know it, but the VA had already been doing that. If the VA declares you indigent, they put you on a list that makes you the background check NICS, that makes you NICS ineligible. So if the VA says you're indigent, and once they put you on that list, you cannot buy a firearm.
That is fucking pathetic.
Yeah, it is.
All they're doing is forcing people to be criminals.
But
They're normally good, law-abiding citizens.
You got the right for the doctor-patient privilege. They're breaking that so that they can take your guns away.
Absolutely.
That's just bullshit.
Yep.
That's why we need Kavanaugh on the fucking court. So when this comes to the Supreme Court, it'll get shot down.
Yeah, well, I don't know anything about this guy, so...
Everything that I read said that he's a moderate conservative.
Right.
That all of
he's
his
not a loony lefty.
He's not a loony lefty. He's not a hardcore conservative, but he interprets the Constitution.
And that's what I heard, and I liked.
That's exactly what I like. That's the problem with the court now, is it's become too politicized. You're either Democrat or Republican, and there's no middle ground, and that's where our Constitution is. Our Constitution's in the middle,
Right.
and that's what binds us all together. Well, when these judges get appointed by these presidents, they're loyal to that party, and they're interpreting that on their personal beliefs, not on the Constitution of the United States.
And it's a shame.
Exactly.
It's scary. It really is, because if you look at some of the look at Roe versus Wade. Now all you hear now is because Kavanaugh is going to become a justice, so Roe versus Wade is going to be overturned. Well,
no, it's not. It's going to be sent to the states.
It's only going to go back to the states if it is overturned. They still got the right to have abortions in certain states, just like before Roe.
And you guys have heard me say this, I'm sure, time and time again. In the beginning, that's what our founding fathers had in mind. The ultimate power when our country was formed was supposed to lie with the states. The federal government was supposed to play a very limited role in a person's everyday lives. But over the course of the years, the federal government got bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger, to where now they're controlling the states, because they say, if you don't implement this seatbelt law, for example, we're not going to give you federal highway funds. If you don't do this, we're not going to give you funding for this.
It's extortion.
It's
Exactly.
extortion. And our founding fathers never intended that. The federal government was supposed to play a very limited role in a person's everyday life.
Sorry, I was taking a
that's why
pee.
they
What?
were called representatives. That's why they're called representatives. Now, when you hear
That's
people
right.
talk
Somebody
about
called
other
them
politicians,
leaders.
Well, you hear it all the time.
Yeah.
You hear it all the time. Our leaders. They're not our leaders. They're our representatives. They're there at our good grace.
Exactly.
They serve at our fucking pleasure.
Hey,
And
on
we
a
got the
lighter note,
world
though,
united, or the states united. I think
Did
we're
you-
going to have a big red wave this November.
I think
Bar
have
something
you
really
guys,
stupid happening.
have you guys seen that hashtag movement where the Democrats are switching to Republicans?
Yes.
Yes.
I seen the interview with the guy that started it. He's a gay guy.
Dark A, yeah.
Yeah, you wouldn't know he was gay though. I didn't know he was gay until he said it. And I don't care. But he was a liberal. And he said, when I seen the vitriol coming out of the Democrats, the leaders of the Democratic Party, not the fringe, the leaders, he goes, I'm done. I'm encouraging my friends to do it too.
Yeah, what was that called? The hashtag walk away.
Hashtag
Walk away.
Yep.
Walk away.
Right.
That's it. Yep. And I hope it gains huge popularity. And you know what? If there are any blue dog Democrats or even liberals
Well, look at
listening to the show, go and check it out. It's called Walk Away. And check it out. And see how you feel about it after that.
Well, but I don't understand how, if you're a Democrat, I just don't understand, if you look at what Trump's done for our country in the amount of time that he's been in, how you can even argue that. I mean, gross domestic product has had over 3% growth for 3 quarters in a row, the first time in like 25 years, unemployment at an all-time record low. How can you argue stuff like that?
And not
The
just
fucked up
for
part is
everyone.
they want to roll it back. They want to roll all that back. They want to
Yes.
do a tax plan. They're even talking about impeaching judges and everything else.
Look, Democrats can only function in chaos, all right? That's how they function. They prey on people's fears. So if things are going well, they have no platform. They have no soapbox to stand on.
And that's true. But ultimately, though, the Democratic/Socialist Party always ends up in chaos. Look at Venezuela right now. They have a 40,000% inflation rate right now.
40,000%.
40,000%.
How do you even fucking...
Well,
how do you
they're
even
starving
compute
down there.
that?
They've
already killed all the
They
animals.
were one of the most richest oil companies. They were like number 9 or something.
The people of Venezuela, before the fucking socialists got in,
Right.
were receiving money from the government that was not welfare. It was because they had so much money.
Well, the government ran the oil and
Exactly.
split it with the people.
Yes. And then fucking
Like
Chavez
a
got
profit
in.
sharing or whatever.
It was like a profit sharing.
Yeah.
Like they used to do in Alaska.
Yeah.
If you were an Alaskan resident, you got like a $2,000 check a year. I think they still do it, as a matter of fact.
I think they do. Somebody said Canada used to do that. If you moved to Canada.
Yeah, well, that was they stopped
Do
giving
what?
away land in Alaska in like 1983, I think it was. Just to get people there.
Right.
They stopped that in like the 1980s, early 80s. But they would actually give you land. It's yours. There it is. Free.
Survive. Make a town.
Yeah, do something with it. Me, on the other hand, I would have said, you can fucking keep it. I don't want to live here.
Yeah, it's 50 below. I'm not living here. Screw that. I'll be back
Yeah.
in the summer. This is a summer town. This is a
Right.
summer
I'll tell
town.
I'll tell you what, if I grew up in Alaska, right, the day I turned 18, I'd look at my parents and say, I am leaving, never coming back, goodbye. I don't ever want to see this fucking place again.
I think in Alaska the men to women ratio is like 6 or 7 to 1.
Yeah, that first of all, sausage party.
Yeah,
A fucking gallon of milk's like fucking $9 or
So
something.
you
like
know
that.
what that's going to attract? All the gays are going to go up there. All the he she's that
I
really
think
they're
too.
he-man.
Wait a minute, Alaska's not sounding so bad now. All these men, gay, fucking Midnight Sun, it's not sounding so bad. Jeez.
At least they'll protect the wildlife.
Wow.
Yeah, the gay rate went up 200%. Bestiality, it's actually down. Who would have guessed?
Oh my God! Only on Pot Talk.
Yes,
Where's
politics
Bob when you need
with
him?
a twist.
Politically offensive talk.
Yes, if it doesn't offend, it's not funny.
And we do smoke
Hey,
a
is that
joint
new
every
bill?
once.
You know what? We got him. I got two more
And-
right here.
And the nice thing about it is when you
Smack the big one.
The nice thing about it is when you get passionate about a subject, you can drop the F-bomb. You can say fuck.
Oh yeah,
Right.
you can say anything here.
Fits
Just
in.
don't get out of control. I was getting a little out of control. I was using the big word a lot.
Don't use the big one.
Yeah, Jimmy gets all offended, so I won't. But you can, Dave. You have my complete permission.
I don't want to make Jimmy mad.
I was just trying to pull it off.
There's no need for it. You know, everybody expects F word, but you know what I mean? But not the C word.
Let's just say,
Oh,
can't understand
What,
normal.
crack?
No,
Yeah.
because even little kids about 4 years old understand what the F word is, but they don't know what the C word is. So if they're going to be at a pizza joint going, Ma, what does cunt mean?
thank you for breaking the ice. I knew it. I knew you'd do it. You're the best, Jimmy. You're the best co-host ever.
I think we go.
So much for that pizza joint, huh?
Can't understand normal thinking.
That sounds like
I
something
thought he
we
meant
used to know.
carburetor. So I don't know.
Oh God.
Yeah. Oh, do you know what? I love politics, and I love comedy too. And being able to do both on the same show is what I really have been wanting to do for a long time. And I think it's the best way to do it.
We did it with Sammy V.
Right, we were doing it with Sammy V. If you can't laugh at the chaos around us,
Right.
you're going to end up fucking throwing a rope over a beam.
That's exactly
just-
right.
Yeah.
And the nice thing about it is having a Republican president. The Democrats make it so easy to make fun of them.
Oh yeah, and do you know what? Do you know what? I'd love to make fun of Trump for all his fallacies. I mean, let's face it, he is not a perfect person.
Did you see the balloons they did in the UK?
Well, nobody is.
A small baby
Yeah,
Trump
baby
in
Trump.
diapers with his hairdo and
No way.
cell phone in his little hand.
That's funny, but I think the UK right now they've got their own problems. They got
Oh, they're
Yeah,
a bunch
yeah.
of pussies.
they've got an invasion going on right now. So they need to worry about their own house before they worry about our president.
I used to have so much respect for the British. They were so fucking ballsy, prim proper. You know, they'd shoot somebody in the face, and then it's 4 o'clock is tea time.
Tea
You
time.
know what I mean?
Yeah.
Tea time.
Now they're a bunch of fucking sniveling pussies. They
Well,
really
you know,
are.
Meghan Markle,
Those are my ancestors
the
you're
lady that
talking
married
about.
Prince Harry,
Yeah.
her father got pissed off and won't talk to her because Prince Harry told him to give Trump a chance.
Oh, that's funny.
What?
Yeah, it is fucking funny. I was like, are you fucking serious? It was all over CNN that the father of Meghan Markle got pissed off at Prince Harry and won't talk to him because he told the man to give Donald Trump a chance.
All we are saying is give Trump a chance. Oh my
Why
God.
wrote
Good
that?
job.
You know how fucking weak-minded you have to be?
Oh, and that's the thing, though. If you look at how all these libtards, as I like to call them, their heads are exploding. They really are.
They are such babies. We didn't fucking do any of this shit with Obama. Look, I fucking hated Obama, but once he became president, it's like the first term. All right, let's see what the guy can do. You know what I mean? He's not my guy, but you know what? I could be wrong. Boy, was I right. Oh, and I hate to admit it, I was fucking right. The second election, it was, fuck this guy. He's a douche. He's out to hurt America, all that. But even when he got elected the second time, it's like, well, what am I going to do about it? Fucking throw rocks through windows or something?
Exactly. And that's that whole entitlement. That's what happens when everybody gets a trophy for a whole generation.
Yeah. Yep. Everyone thinks their kid is special. From somebody that has no children, right? Your kids aren't special. Nobody's kids are special. They're not.
That's what my kids are
They're
called.
special to you. To me.
Not to the world. Not to the world.
They're not. No. They're average at best. That's it.
If you have to teach them. If you want something, you got to work for it. You have to figure out a plan of attack, and you have to do it. Make goals. But here's the thing: goals without planning, it's just a dream.
Exactly. That's like listening to them fucking motivational fucking tapes, and not doing anything they tell you to do.
Exactly. You have to set a goal, and you have to set a plan to reach it. You can't just say, "Well, I want to lose 20 pounds," and go in the kitchen and pull out a tub of ice cream and eat it.
No, you can't.
Well, you can, but you ain't going to lose 20 pounds.
You will if you do meth.
Oh my God!
If you do meth, yeah.
You can eat you can have your cake and eat it too.
Just
and that's all you're gonna have for 3 days.
And
a piece of cake
and mow your lawn in January.
In your underwear
with the
barefoot.
snowblower.
Yeah, wearing flippers and a snorkel mask.
Are we taking calls tonight?
No, we never gave out the number, and we got 15 minutes left. Do you know what? Give out the number. Let's see if we get a late caller.
It's 1-800-508-5431.
Hey, guys,
There you go.
Tell us how we're doing.
We do have another special guest, guys. I'll let you guys introduce you.
No. Save the special guest for next week. Because I want to get involved a little earlier than this.
No, you can go on.
Do you know what? If you want to bring that stalking motherfucker...
I want to know what Billy Bob thinks about the kneeling in the football game.
About the what?
The national anthem, kneeling in the football game there. What does Billy Bob think?
Let's see if we can get him on here. Hey, Billy Bob.
Yeah,
Hey, boys, what's going on, boys? I'll tell you what now.
Jesus
it sure is a privilege to be on that pot talk tonight, boys. I'll tell you what.
His name's Billy Bob, not Jesus Christ.
I'll tell you what, now, Billy Bob been listening to this show here, boys. First time I listened to this here pot talk, but I'll tell you right now, Billy Bob's under the impression here that you guys is a bunch of little conservatives, come on?
Yes, we're semi-conservative.
Yes.
Well, I'll tell you right now, boys. Oh, Billy Bob now, I'll tell you right now, Billy Bob is one of them blue dog Democrats, come on?
I'll get rid
Yeah,
of
you're a dying breed.
Yeah, because
Thank God
you got no representation.
Hey, Billy Bob. Hey, Billy Bob, there's a bunch of men in Alaska.
I'll tell you what.
It's raining men.
Billy Bob don't play no Peter Puffin there, buddy, right?
You don't want to get in on those Alaskan oil checks?
That's how
Peter Puffin.
That's how Billy Bob got into the Navy. Don't ask, don't tell.
I mean, 2,000. That'll last you for the year.
He wanted to be.
Ain't no Peter Puffin going on around Billy Bob now, come on, because I cut that shit off, boy, straight
That's
flush.
why
He wanted.
That's
to
why
be
Billy
in the
Bob
Navy
went into the Navy. He loves
because
seamen.
I'll tell you what now.
He wanted to be in something that was long and hard and full of semen.
Yep.
I'll tell you
Every
what.
time I hear his voice, that's all I can think of. semen.
I'm gonna tell you all right now that one there fella right there, I think I call him Papa there. You know, he talked about what Billy Bob think about them football players kneeling there. Billy Bob think that's some bullshit, you know.
You do?
Yeah.
Well, they get to go in the locker room, but now they're complaining they don't want to go in the locker room.
Well, I'll tell you right
Billy
now,
Bob sounded rational.
I'll tell you right
Go
now,
ahead,
boys,
Bill.
that's some bullshit. Now you gotta remember something, boys. Old Billy Bob here, I'm a blue dog Democrat, boys. I believe in my country there, boys. And I'll tell you right now, them motherfuckers, they need to show some respect, or they need to get the hell out of there, come on.
Very good, Billy Bob. Jesus Christ! What the hell
Get rid of
happened?
Dave and bring on Billy Bob.
No shit.
Hey, easy now.
Yeah, this conversation's got to go to shit soon enough. That had to be a lucid moment.
I'll tell you what now, boys. I'll tell you right now, on a serious note now, old Billy Bob do believe here that this Trump there, he gonna fuck us up, boys. I'll tell you right now, he gonna get us in trade wars with their China. He gonna get us in trade wars with China there, boys.
China?
That's right. You know, them little slant-eye bastards there over in China. Oh,
the old China doll.
That's kind of racist there, Billy Bob.
Boy, I can't tell you what now. Billy Bob ain't racist. I hate everybody equally there, Camus.
No,
China, half Chinese and half Chicano.
China, yeah. I seen their trucks. They're food trucks.
China?
Yeah, it's like a fusion thing, Chinese and Mexican.
I'll tell you what,
Yes.
now, boys, I'm telling you that old orange-haired fella, he gonna get us in a trade war there, right? You mark Billy Bob's words now. I'm telling you.
It's about time we got in another war.
That's right. You know what?
We got nothing to lose, but they're losing billions
He went
from
to NATO and
everybody.
pretty much told them all off yesterday, or a couple days
Oh
ago.
my God, was that great? He singled out Germany.
Dude, that was
Giving
a mic
billions
drop.
to
Yeah, he
Russia.
That was a mic drop moment. Yeah, because they found out that Germany has a gas pipeline direct to Russia.
Right.
Yes. Yeah, and they're fucking sucking Russia's tit.
Yeah, exactly.
They're making Russia strong.
Well, and
fuck.
if you,
They take Crimea back. They do in the Ukraine.
well, and here's the thing. Now, NATO is a joke. Now, I mean, NATO.
Oh God, yeah, it's been for years.
We might as
It
well
is.
pull out of it. Take our 4.5% that we're giving of our GDP into NATO, put it into our military, and say screw those guys.
Yeah, and form a new alliance with like Poland and countries that actually do like us
Exactly.
and that are willing to. Did you know Poland actually puts in more money than they're obligated to?
Yes.
There was
Yeah.
a few, yeah.
They put in more money than they're obligated to.
You know why? Because they lived under communist rule.
And the
They
United
don't want to
States
do
was
it
the
again.
only country that stood behind them through the whole thing. Lech Walesa
Walesa, yeah.
and shit like that. And what was it called? Pravda or whatever.
I forget what you.
Yeah, the movement.
Yeah, I know it. I know.
Solidarity.
Solidarity. Yep.
Pravda. Actually, that's a clothing line. I think.
Wasn't solidarity. It was solid.
Right, but they're like their word for
Their
it.
word
Yeah.
for it. Yeah.
Their fucking stupid
Solidarity
Polak word
or
for it.
But
The letters were all wrong
The
and
thing
shit.
with the polls, though, is it's just like if you go to Kuwait. If you go to Kuwait now as an American, they love you there.
Yeah, because we liberated them.
Exactly. Now you go to Saudi Arabia, that's an entirely different situation.
Have you ever been there?
Yeah. All right.
Not to Saudi Arabia. I've been to Kuwait. Yeah.
You've been to Kuwait?
Yeah.
And they really liked you guys?
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know they like.
That's going to be kind of a culture shock, huh?
Yeah, I know it.
Oh, it
People
is.
that can't even speak English coming up
Yeah.
thanking you.
You go from like Dave Coots, fucking Ohio country boy, raising goats, driving a truck, whatever the fuck you do. And then all of a
we have
sudden
not
you're in
heard a
fucking
goat update
Kuwait.
in months.
Do you know why? Because the goat isn't dead. It's officially dead.
No, he's still alive. Flip Flop's
What?
Flip Flop's still kicking. I haven't put him on the grill yet.
Oh, I put a contract out on him.
Well, the thing's
Christ,
only
it hasn't
about
been
6
filled.
months old.
Yeah, I'm just waiting for him to get bigger. He's still too little to eat right now.
Yeah, he is. That's what I thought.
If I was you, I would have treated it like veal.
Like I said, even when he's full grown, they ain't got much meat on him.
Put it in a pen
he'll get up to
where it
about,
can't move.
He'll get up to about 130, 140 pounds full grown.
Right. What are you going to
Something
get,
on
30
that?
pounds of meat?
Well, once you dress him, you'd get about 40, 50 pound of meat maybe.
Yeah, there you go, Jim. How much you get off a fucking chicken?
Yeah, I know.
2, 3? If you're lucky.
Depending on how big the chicken is, how many hormones
Well, that's
it's
true.
ingested.
Yeah.
How many times
Why did the
it's been
chicken
tried-
cross the road? To get away from Jimmy. He
You're
wouldn't
going
leave
to
it
become a
alone.
vegetarian when
What?
in my old age.
You're gonna be a vegetarian?
No.
Oh my god.
No
You
way.
want me to buy you a
You're
pair of
starting late.
Birkenstocks?
Well, the only meat I'm eating now is salami.
Oh boy, that joke could go in a whole bunch of different ways.
Yes, it could.
Hey, take it away, Billy
Oh,
Bob.
God, you don't slap it, man.
I'll tell you what, right now, boys, y'all some sick motherfuckers right there. And old Jimmy talking about salami there. Woo, buddy.
You've been slapping it.
That's what I live on for the month.
Is that the soft salami where you can like bend it? Or is it like the hard salami? If you go to bend it, it just breaks?
What Billy Bob
Genoa,
wants,
it's all sliced up.
what Billy Bob wants to know there, Papa, is if you handle it a lot, does it get wet and spit on you?
It does melt.
Yeah, it's a cheese-filled salami. You squeeze it at the bottom like a thing of toothpaste, and just push up.
Oh, Jesus.
Put it on crackers.
Yeah,
Come on.
Kaboo.
Come here.
Come on.
All right, so politics fell to the wayside. We did actually do some in the beginning, though, so not too bad.
Well, that's what happens when you invite people like Billy Bob on the show. It just goes to
Yeah,
shit.
he corrupts
right.
everything he touches.
Hey guys, at least I kept you on track. I mean, you know, Billy Bob's got you talking about your salami now.
Yeah, well, he just gets me riled, that
Billy Bob, you're
motherfucker.
a
I'll
bad
tell you what there,
influence.
Paul Daniels. I'll tell you what now, boys. You know, people on Pot Talk might not know the history between old Billy Bob and Paul Daniels there. So Billy Bob's
God.
going to give you a brief fill-in here. We hate each other. He's a motherfucker, Canoe.
Oh, God.
They've been slapping each
You're
other.
fucking
salami.
stalking my life. This is pathetic. I thought this was my one safe space. And Billy Bob invades.
Paul Daniels thought he had a safe space there.
Yeah.
And you may,
Yep.
I tell you what, Billy Bob,
Yeah, he thought he had a cry closet.
Billy Bob might be the blue
Well, I need one now.
Oh, Billy Bob might be the blue dog Democrat, but sounds like all Paul Daniels there eating up with libtards, you know?
Oh, I hate my life. Jesus Christ. It just gets worse and worse and worse.
I'll tell you what, now, boys, old Billy Bob never thought he'd build that there pot talk, you know, because old Billy Bob and Paul Daniels there, we hate each other there, Canoe.
Billy Bob, you're good for the fucking show. You're bad for my blood pressure. But I wouldn't have it any other way. Welcome to the show, you douche fuck.
Well, I'll tell you what, boys, now, you know, Billy Bob just lay it down, tell you how it is there now, you know, that war-tearing fella, I'm telling you, he's going to get us in a trade war with China there. I'm telling you, boys, you watch.
Well, do you know what? I think it's a war we can win.
No, every time I hear the word China, I'm going to go China. China?
I thought he was talking about the thing that you put the seeds on.
I'll
and
never
you
be able
fucking,
to pronounce
like the
it the
head
same
grows.
way.
And you give it
fucking-
water. You give it water.
Like
to
a
make the head
chia,
grow.
a chia pet or whatever.
Chia.
That's what I
It's a
thought.
chia pet. It's chia.
I thought that's what he was talking
I'll tell you
about.
what,
at
boys, I didn't say no, Billy Bob didn't say chia, I said cheetah, you know?
first. Well, you know what? I'm still having a hard time with the
Fastest
accent.
cat in the world?
Is that a cheetah?
No, that's a cheetah.
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 Oh, a cheetah. Hey, see?
Oh, I thought when he went back to the China.
Yes, he went back to China.
Half and half. China.
Oh, God.
Somewhere,
When the fuck is this show over?
somewhere,
go to bed.
somewhere, there's a midget Mexican Chinese guy who's
Going to
really
hell.
mad right now.
Yeah, and he's like, and he can't even fucking look over the counter, just see a pair of eyes,
And he's going-
slanty.
He's going, fuck you, Billy Bob, fuck you, Billy Bob, fuck you.
As he's crossing the border illegally.
They're shooting him out of a cannon because China.
They're shooting them out of vagina because that's what China does. They send the people with the pregnant
They shoot him
people
out of
over
a
there.
vagina across the border.
They come over here when they're in the
Maybe
ninth
China.
month and they're due, and they come over here and have kids, and they're automatically fucking a citizen.
Oh my god.
They can stay in the country because they're kid.
Is that the 2-minute warning?
That's 2-minute
Oh
warning.
shit, that's 2-minute warning. Holy fuck. Yeah, that's how they do it. They have tourist thing they advertise them.
Hey guys, now, I don't know if you guys heard this or not this week though. On a more political note, did you hear that President Trump pardoned the Hammonds?
Yes.
Yes!
Yes.
That started the
Bundy thing.
Yes.
Well, they started the Oregon Wildlife Refuge thing, not the Bundy thing.
Yes.
The Bundy thing was before that.
Yeah, the Mulhauer Reserve.
Yeah. And
Did you say Mo Howard?
Mohaller.
I thought he said Mo Howard.
No, it was Howard Mo.
Wouldn't that be a great place to
That's
go?
my nickname.
The Mo Howard Reserve.
You know,
They'd be like, slap.
I'm glad that he done that though. That was long overdue. Those guys got flat out screwed by the Obama.
Yes, they did. Yeah, well, because it didn't fit Obama's fucking agenda. It's like, you can protest, you can throw shit through windows, you can light shit on fire, but you can't protest quietly.
What?
Oh, we gotta get out. We gotta get out. Dave, thanks for coming on. You're coming back on next Thursday, right?
Oh yeah, I'll be here, guys.
All right, great. Love the show, guys.
Same time next week.
And you can hear us tomorrow night at 7 p.m.
Yep, with all in.
with Donald Westbrook.
All right. Good night, everybody.